Hey guys, Mac again. Welcome to Cheers, where everyone knows your game. Tonight, I have the distinct pleasure of having one fantastic guest, Jana Amari, based in Vancouver, British Columbia. She is a partnered MTG streamer and an occasional cosplayer. Every once in a while she might do something. Yeah. She has over 10,500 followers, and they keep coming. She also runs Magic tournaments for the new MTG Melee, and she was part of our inaugural cosplay panel for the Call Time virtual release event. Jana, thank you so much for being on the show. How are you?
Thank you so much, Mac. I'm doing great. Hello, everyone in the Go for Games community. I'm so excited to finally talk to you once again. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we had a lot of fun with you for the event. What's been going on in your world since then?
Well, stuck at home, still with the
Right,
virus.
right.
So that means a lot of MTG. I've just been playing a lot of Arena. I'm talking to a lot of friends online about Magic,
Mhm.
streaming, things like that. So more of the same, trying to keep safe at home while still really enjoying the game. So
No, solid.
yeah.
No, absolutely. So first things first, we got to talk about your amazing talent at cosplaying. So
Okay.
you come up with these amazing costumes that you make yourself, and like they're just beautifully done, beautifully done. Where do you get your inspiration? Was it cosplay first, or was it you were a gamer first? Where did it come?
All right, so it's really really funny because I've always grown up in gaming. Like my mom and dad always loved video games too. So
Mhm.
ever since I was little, I was playing video games. And when you're a kid, like you're always dressing up as something. Like whether it's like a cool superhero or like just something from a character you really like. Like it's really common. So I feel like everyone in their point of life has always cosplayed at some point. They just didn't really know it. And then there's just people who just like never grow out of that. And that's kind of me. So yeah, like I love, when I really, really like something, whether it's like comics or like gaming, like I always try to go to these events like
Mhm.
a Comic Con or like a convention or something, and then I feel like it kind of brings me out more like out of my shell and
Mhm.
gets me into the festivities. So that's how I kind of got started with it. And then me being competitive in nature, like I just really really wanted to have my costume really good. So it's like spending hours and hours like googling how to do this one thing, and then it kind of escalates from there. So
Okay,
yeah, that's how
okay.
I got started.
No, that's dope. That's awesome. So, let's talk a little bit about your gaming. So you do, of course, a lot of video gaming. You've been doing tons of Magic. Is there any other games that you're into? Do you do board games, or do you do any of the other type of gaming hobby stuff?
Yeah, I love just strategy games.
Okay.
So when it comes to other PC games, I really like titles like Diablo, just like those sort of single player kind of grindy build your character games, which kind of relates a lot to Magic in a way. It's kind of like, oh, building a deck or like building a
Okay.
character kind of thing. With board games, I wish I had spent a lot more time maybe getting to know board games. I mean, I like the classic Catan with friends, but I'm not really familiar with a lot of board games. So, but I just love strategy in general.
No,
So,
that's
and
awesome.
like RPGs and like things having to do with a lot of story and building. So,
Oh,
um,
absolutely. Like
yeah.
so with the story aspect of gaming, I know that in some of the other cosplayers that I've had the privilege to be able to talk to, they like to, kind of come up with um, a story in the costume itself. Do you have a similar process when you design a costume for yourself? Like you have a beautiful Liliana, like that's dope. And your Elspeth is freaking fire.
Thank
Do
you.
you have any type of process when you're like, I want to make this costume? What is your process throughout?
Yeah, I guess if I really, really think about it, it's sort of like a hero's journey, like, oh, a
Mhm.
call to adventure. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see the design, and then, the trials and tribulation of like crying over a costume because I only have one more day to finish it, and I'm rushing it. And then finally, the triumphant ending where I beat the boss and like I slay my own costume, and then I get to wear the spoils, kind of thing, if you put it that way. So,
Uh-huh.
like in that sort of nerdy fashion. But yeah, it's always, to me, it's always been the same story. Like, I will just find a character that I really like for example with Liliana and Elspeth. Like, I just think that it's so cool with Liliana, like all the details in her cloth, or like
Hmm.
Elspeth her armor, and I'm
Hmm.
just so inspired. I can't stop talking about it. Like, I'll annoy my roommates or like my friends, and then I don't know, like I always say like, oh, I have so much time, I have so much time, and then the convention or the event
Oh,
rolls
that
around, and
procrastination gets
somehow
you,
I'm
right?
still working on it at 2
Right.
a.m. And like, it's always the same. And every cosplayer, like, I know there's no cosplayer I know that's ahead of schedule. So we're
Never.
trying to add
Never.
more things.
Right.
So,
Right.
but then it becomes really rewarding, when you get to show off your costume and then also get people at the event hyped about your character. So
Oh,
I guess
absolutely.
it's all worth
Absolutely.
it.
And then one of the things that I always, for me personally, because the extent of my cosplay was Little Mac at like maybe age 10 with his like Captain America underoos.
Yeah,
That's
see,
about the extent of my
I'm telling
cosplay.
you, everyone has
Yeah.
cosplayed at some point. They just don't know it.
That's about the extent
So,
of my cosplay. But what if someone wanted to get started in the hobby of cosplaying, do you have any recommendations, like any tips for someone, like knowing what you know now because you have been
yeah.
established? What would you tell someone who's just getting into it, wants to come up with these beautiful costumes? How would you advise them to start?
Hmm. Well, 5 years ago, my answer would have been kind of different, but now I feel like even the technology of cosplay has sort of evolved. Like, it's so
Hmm.
much easier to get started now. Like, if you wanted to do like a character from The Legend of Zelda or like maybe Captain America or something, you just Google like how to make Captain America cosplay, and there's just like so much like
Right.
someone out there, like a cosplayer that's just so obsessed, will just have a write up on like how to do it
Okay.
start to finish. Or there's a lot of different sites now where you can just buy the costume like as is. Like,
Hmm.
there's specialized cosplay sites now. You can even order stuff on Amazon, and then like maybe you buy the suit and then just make the shield or something like that.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of different ways to get started, and it's definitely like way easier than maybe 5 years ago or even 10 years ago, where there's like not much and there's not many specialized stores in it. But now that it's been so popular, and like gaming, I feel like gaming and nerd culture, I feel like it's not even nerd culture anymore.
No,
Like,
it's
it's just
not. Right.
everywhere now. Like, it's
Yeah.
like like the normies or like what we call it. It's like everyone's sort of like a nerd now. So
Yeah.
I feel like when everything got super super popular, all these nerdy hobbies, so to speak, just got way easier to do. So it's just yeah, it just do your research, but it's really really not hard to get started or find resources out there to get
Okay.
started. So yeah.
So we you mentioned earlier that there is this kind of cross between your cosplaying and your video gaming
Hmm.
into the more tabletop oriented gaming, mainly Magic. And I remember from your panel, you talked about how you're more recent into the Magic scene
Yeah.
as opposed to some of the other guests we had. What got you into Magic? Like, what was it about Magic that you're like, this is a game that I'm going to cut my teeth on?
Well, it's actually really, really funny because cosplay kind of got me started into Magic. So
Hmm.
I was competing at a cosplay contest for a different video game. It's called Dota 2. It's like the
I
strategy
know
sort,
Dota
yeah,
very well.
MOBA. Exactly. Yeah. For people who don't know. So I was competing at the international and for top 16, which I made it, they actually gave beta keys to their card game. Designed by Richard
Yeah.
Garfield, who's the designer of Magic. It's called Artifact,
Uh-huh.
and that was the first card game I ever played. But the game sort of fell apart and for different reasons. But when that game kind of died, I started getting like, you know how like Google just like listens to every conversation you have, and like I started getting ads for Magic, like, and then I remember I saw like that Liliana trailer for War of the Spark, like that
Wasn't
really big
that so freaking cool?
Yeah, like the Nicole Bolas and like the song, and it's all like going backwards, and I was like, what the heck? Like, this is a card game. Like, yeah. So then I downloaded Arena, and then at the time too, like my friend also, it was weird because at the time they independently like got into Magic too because of that trailer, but like through paper. So it was kind of like, oh, it was just like I mean, that set had like the Planeswalker features, and it was like really, really big. So yeah, that just got me hooked. So it's kind of weird how like cosplay kind of got me into Magic. But I've always heard about Magic, like even growing up, like in high school. I just never got into it until Arena, because everyone talks about like how expensive it is, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to get into this hobby. But yeah, now I'm hooked, and like I'm spending my extra money on Arena or like extra cards. So they definitely got me there. So yeah. Yeah.
So okay, we got to talk about your cred now. All right. We know that you are a competitive gamer, and you love to be the best at what you can be the best at. What deck are you running right now in Arena? And then what deck were you the most proud of?
Okay. So right now, I'm going through this sort of thing as a competitive player, just like be open to different decks and just play everything. So right now I'm playing everything, but I really like the adventure decks with
from Throne of Eldraine,
the Eldraine mechanic. Like it's really, really strong. Like it's got the aggro kind of sort of mid-rangey game plan, which I really, really like. So yeah, and I mean, like the adventure cards are just really cute.
Yeah. I love what's the green one with the beast, and he's got the golden robe.
The Love Struck Beast.
God, it's such pretty artwork.
It's so powerful. I mean, it's a 3-mana 5/5, and there's a lot of, if you build a deck with a lot of 1/1 enablers, like that thing's always going to be attacking, which I really, really like. So in terms of the deck that I'm really, really proud of, the deck that I think I fully understood was like the Rakdos sacrifice deck that kind of had like
red, black,
the Mayhem Devil sort of sacrifice component with Priest of the Forgotten Gods, a lot of these cards for More of the Spark. That got me into like top 8 in different events. So that's one that I really felt like I understood in and out. Not a lot of people like that deck. But I did.
There's not a lot of answers against that. There's not a lot of answers against that.
Yeah. So I mean, it won me tournaments, so I'm always gonna like decks that are annoying that wins me money. So
girl, more props to you. Props to you, because that's awesome. But that's like, I think that is one of the really great things that Magic does as a player, because you are able to formulate like these plans and these strategies, and it just scratches that itch in your head. It's like, man, I love to see this plan come together, and and it did, and that's so cool. You don't get that in like normal stuff. So that's really awesome.
Exactly. I love that about Magic too, because it's just like, for a lot of people, like when they play a deck that's a meta deck or like a really strong deck, like sometimes it just clicks faster. And it's just like, you feel good when you feel like, you're really getting the deck, and then you're getting results out of it. So, and I feel like, Magic, it's just such a cool game where like there's just different styles, and people can get really good at them, and there's like a place for like a lot of people to enjoy the game in their own way. So I think that's
absolutely
what attracts me to Magic in general, because I really like those like character like MMO building games in the first place. So I think that Magic's cool. That it's taking up so much of my time. Like I'm cosplaying the character, streaming the game, and then trying to run tournaments. So, like I don't know. I guess you can say I'm a little addicted. So
just a tiny bit. It's
just
okay.
a tiny bit. It's not a problem right now.
Not a problem. Not a problem. So here's a little fanboy question from me. So with your Magic playing, what is your favorite color? Like, what is your favorite color for Magic? And if they were to make Jana Amari into a planeswalker, what would Jana Amari's emblem be?
Okay, that's really funny. So I always say like a different answer or every time just because I really like all the colors. But like, so Arena, what happens at the end of every month? They sort of give you like a newsletter, like compiling all your stats, and
Right.
every month it says like most colored plate is black. So but I'm like, I don't even like black. Like it has like the most dirtily like creatures are usually like 1/1s or like 3/2. They have like black cards usually have the worst stats. Like the creature cards usually have the worst stats or just have like awesome removal. But I'm just like, yeah, I guess my favorite color is black. But if I was to become a planeswalker, it's really funny because I answered a question before where like, oh, if I had a card made after me, what would it be? And I like, I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with the idea of like a vanilla creature with like just flavor text.
Like, you would be a story card, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like I'd be like, I don't know, some white 1/1 with flavor text that's just like a really cute art or something like that. Like that would be my card. Like that would be my personality. So I don't know, like a planeswalker that is, I don't know, like a 3 mana just makes like 1/1 tokens or something like that. So and does nothing else. I don't know.
All right, well, folks, you heard it here. Jana Amari, she is going to be
I'm simple, you know.
a token spamming normal planeswalker. There you go.
Exactly. But not too overpowered because I don't want people to like hate me and want me to get banned. So like I'm just gonna be like the one that's just sort of medium at draft. That's the planeswalker I'm trying to achieve.
Heard. Yeah. So no what's the, is it Oro? The
Oko, yeah.
Oko,
yeah,
the
no Oko level, just like simple. Like you see me in your draft pool and you're not excited to pick me, but like it's an okay thing.
Yeah, but like low key is like, man, if I take Jana Amari, I'm making tokens, man.
I'm like maybe tokens. You could do like a cute little combo, but like I'm not gonna be your first pick, you know? Like,
oh, that's cute. I love it. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your work with MTG Melee, because that is something that you're doing a lot of stuff with now, and I think you have a tournament coming up soon too, right?
Yeah. So with MTG Melee, I'm not directly partnered with them. It's just a site right now. Like if you're competitive in Magic or you want to start being competitive in Magic, it's a site that sort of hooks you up as a player with tournaments that are being ran online. Which is amazing because there's usually a tournament like every day. So if you have nothing to do at home or if you don't have anything to do at work, you'll always be finding tournaments. And for me as a competitive player, like it really gets my competitive itch, especially in the pandemic where we just can't go to in-person events. Right. And like I said, I love Magic so much that I just want to be involved in every aspect. And one of that is tournaments. Like since I enjoy running tournaments, I'm like, oh, what if I ran my own tournament? So it's so funny because it sort of just started from streaming. Like sometimes I'll get really competitive and somebody in chat will like troll me and be like, oh, I can beat you, and I'll be like, no, you can't. And then I'm like, all right, challenge me right now. So and then that kind of evolved to like a subscriber only tournament. So like I elevated that idea because like then I didn't want everyone just coming in to challenge me because I'm just like, okay, I'll just run a tournament. So it started out like a small event with my subscribers on Twitch, and then it just kind of grew. And then I'm just like, okay, well, like let's just make a tournament where everyone can play. Like I don't know, like I don't even start these ideas. Like I don't have a master plan. It just sort of like Cosplayer just like evolves into like something like something, and I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm running a tournament right now with 126 people. Like I don't even know how this started. Like it started from one guy trolling me in chat, and now like but I mean I have fun with it. Like I like coverage and things like that. So my tournament this weekend, it's called the Altiora 2K Open. So
Okay.
it's Altiora is an esports organization I'm partnered with, and we are giving out 2K dollars in prizes,
Ooh,
and
fancy.
anyone can sign up. It's
Okay.
a free event, although it did cap like in 5 minutes because it's free, right? And you're playing
Right,
for
right. No,
2K.
but still,
So
2K, that's amazing.
yeah, a lot of people are going to be streaming it on Twitch on the
Uh-huh.
Magic category, and I'll be providing coverage with it yeah, the day of, and you'll see around like I am lucky enough to have some wonderful streaming friends that are
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, I'll stream your event. So I'm
Solid.
sure like a lot of people that I know will be streaming it, so it won't be hard to find on
Cool.
March
Cool, cool,
6th.
cool.
It'll be pretty much all day. It starts at 9 a.m. PST. But yeah, I'm just doing it mostly because I just love like I'm not joking. Like I think you can tell. Like I really like Magic Mac. Like I don't know if I've made that clear.
You know, I would have never figured that through this
Yeah,
entire conversation. Never would have figured that.
exactly. Like I love the tournaments. I love playing it. I love Arena. I love
Uh-huh.
a paper. Even though I haven't really experienced it, but I played one sealed event before Rona, which was Throne of Eldraine, and I really enjoy it. Like it's just different to be like in person
Yeah.
actually playing the cards. It's such a different game than like
It is. It
online.
is.
So
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, so that's sort of my event. Now I feel like I'm going off on a tangent.
No,
Like
no. This is great. No, because like
yeah.
I want people to know what it is that you're doing, and then on top of that, that there are options. Because like there's something that we always like to talk about in on Cheers is like how gaming has saved your life, you know,
Yeah.
because like for each of us it's given us something, you know, and
Yeah.
especially now during the pandemic and just people being very much segregated into their pods to, you know, to stay safe. Games have given people different ways to either connect with family at home or has given them a mental escape from the solitude that they're experiencing right now by staying safe and doing the right thing. So, I would like to pose that question to you.
Hmm.
How has gaming influenced your life in a positive manner?
Oh my gosh, in so many ways. Like for like as a kid, I felt that gaming has provided me with an outlet to just, exercise the mind. Like we
Mhm,
don't
mhm.
realize, but like you know how people are just like, oh, people live longer doing things that exercise the mind, like Sudoku or like
Oh yeah,
crosswords or like
yeah.
reading. And
Uh-huh.
it's just like, okay, well, gaming is all of that. It's like you're
Right.
reading, you're doing a lot of puzzles, a lot of problem solving. So like I felt like that like my mom and my dad really understood that, and that was sort of my hobby growing up. Also with gaming, like it brought me a lot of confidence. Like when I started cosplay, it was also a way for me to come out of my shell at these events, just because like like I didn't know much people at the convention. It's just a
Mhm.
way to feel like I'm not myself like for the day. I'm
Right.
this character, and it's so much easier to talk to people when they're like, oh hey, you're Liliana, like what's up Liliana, and I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, like that's who I am, and I don't have to be shy.
Right, right.
When it comes to competitive events, it's definitely taught me, gaming has taught me to, you know how to deal with losses. Sometimes, a lot of people, for me including, when I started out my competitive journey, like it really bummed me to like lose a game I felt like I deserved, and I wouldn't take it well.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
now gaming sort of helped me progress, controlling my emotions better after a loss, things like that. And yeah, like confidence, problem solving, like so much. I'll never stop gaming, like
Mhm.
if someone paid me to stop gaming, like it'd have to be a lot. But no, I'll always game. I feel like everyone should at least try a game. If they don't, I don't know why you wouldn't, because
Right,
it's just
right.
it's just so awesome. But yeah, that question, it's just so interesting because I can go on forever. Like it's helped me with relationships too. Like I was actually talking to Lefty because she posed that question to me while we were talking, and I was like, oh, whenever I get into really like arguments with a partner, I'm like thinking like a card game, like, oh, what's the best play here, like to get out of this argument.
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that in the future. That's awesome. I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah, so
Like, oh, what's the best play?
yeah, I know. Like, I don't want this to go sour. Like, I'm in a losing position right now. Like, what do we do? Like, what cards are available to me? So, yeah.
God, please let me top deck draw. Oh no, it's terrible.
So, yeah, no, definitely. It's so ingrained in my entire personality, and it's helped me a lot go through life. So,
no, that's awesome.
I can relate to that question.
Well, Jana, I want to say once again, thank you sincerely for being a part of our Call Time virtual event, and also for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to be here on Cheers. We really appreciate it. If our audience would love to find out more about what you're doing, where can they find you?
All right. Well, again, I'm Jana Amari. I'm a cosplayer, MTG player, MTG addict. I play on Twitch almost every night at 7 p.m. PST on twitch.tv/Jana Amari. You can also find me on my Twitter at twitter.com/Jana Amari Chan. And yeah, I am so happy. Like, I really, really enjoyed this conversation. And yeah, I'm so happy to be here and to be talking to you this evening, Mac.
Well, thank you, Jana. We want to say once again, we hope that we can have you back, either on the show or in another event in the future. There's a bunch of stuff that I know that we are planning for Time Spiral, for Strixhaven, and of course, the one that I'm really, really excited for is the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, because that's gonna be a great new core set, and it's gonna throw my world for a loop, because it's gonna include all the D&D stuff. It's gonna be hella dope.
I'm so excited too.
Very stoked about that. We would love to have you back for any of those events if you'll have time for us. So
I'm so excited. I'll definitely be there.
Cool. Once again, Jana Amari, thank you so much for being a part of the show, and have a great night.
Thank you. Bye now.